Good morning, it's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. It's early. It's late. This clock is 3 hours behind. And it is not sunny out, but it's not too dreary, so I'm gonna be outside. Pearl has a squeaky in case you hear it. Good morning, it's Barbara. Did I just show you me weed whacking? I was weed whacking. I don't know if I messed up my knee or not. I'm more aware of my knee now than I would like to be, but the yard is all done. It's a very cloudy day today. It's supposed to be a little bit of rain maybe, but it's not too bad out here, and the birds are singing, and Pearl's here with me, so why not be on the deck? I hope you are all well. So I didn't do any knitting or anything yesterday. I didn't do any crafting. Later in the evening, I picked up my book. I had just started the night before, so now I'm about a third of the way. I'm going to be reading today. I can just tell. It's a Raymond Feist book. I had told you about Raymond Feist, the Rift War saga, and he wrote that book with Jenny Wirtz that I read 2 out of the 3. And as I was going, I started reading those, and then let me go to the Rift War books, and started reading those, and then I found this other book that he wrote that I had never read in the library, and I noticed night before last that it was soon going to be returned, and I thought, but I didn't read that yet. Let me read it, see if I care if it's being returned. And I would think thought I would enjoy it, so now I got to read it before they take it away. So I'll be reading today. I also played a little EverQuest 2 last night. Dennis and I played EverQuest in 99, 2000-ish with our friends in Seattle when we were living in the Seattle area. We started then, and we continued to play. We played EverQuest for 4 or 5 years, maybe. And my character was a bard, DeevaaS, Songweaver, which is where I get the name Diva from, and I can consider it sort of my internet name. I even call myself that playing poker and whatever, so... That's where Diva comes from. I think I've told you that before. But the last week we were reminiscing and thinking, remembering our EQ days. And Dennis has been a little at 6s and 7s, not knowing what to do with himself. And because all the things that he was doing gaming wise on his computer were no longer interesting to him. And we started talking about it, and I had played EverQuest 2, which is what we really have going on now, for a while. But at that point, I was tapering off my gaming. I'm not as much of a hardcore gamer as Dennis is. And that's when I went into poker, and, I had other things going on. So I stopped playing, but he continued to play, and he played other games. But there was nothing out there at the moment that was really grabbing him, and I mentioned that he had stopped being on his computer. But we were sitting here talking about the good old days when we were a mighty force. We were a small but mighty force in our guild, our group of friends who played together. And, got us started to thinking about it. And so anyway, we've last night, I started playing a new character, and Dennis has a couple characters, and so I played my character up to level 7 yesterday. I'm my character, I forget my race class, what my race is called. I'm a fairy. I'm an evil fairy. I'm an evil fairy shadow knight. So, I got on the other day and I created what I looked like, picked my wings and, whatever. So I'm a fighter. And I've never really played a fighter before. For very long. I have another fighter on my account. Dennis resurrected our accounts on my account that got up to 10 or 12 or something like that. Not very high. So that's what I'm going to play, and he's going to play he's going to play a healer and a wizard kind of character, and we're going to go out off adventuring together. And so last night I played by myself. I mean, he was in the room and he was doing some other things, but I played by myself on the beginner's island to, you know, remind myself how to play, how to move around, how to run, how to, you know, whatever. So it's going to take me a little while to get everything set up and whatever, but we're going to be playing together. It's a little bit like date night, you know, just plan to game together. And Dennis has a lot of plans for things that he's going to do when I'm not playing. So it's gotten him a little jazzed up about gaming again on his computer, and it'll be something for us to do together, because we actually don't do that many things together. We cook together, we eat together. I mean, we live together, and it's COVID, so we don't go. It's not like he's not home, but it'll be fun for us to do this together. And so last night was game night, and by the end of the night, he had his two characters at the same level as I got my character, and so I suspect tonight or tomorrow night we will get off the island and start adventuring. See how I do. My character's name is Cosmo. Anyway. But I promised I would show you my elm leaf shawlette. Thank you again, Valerie. Valerie gave me this pattern. I'm having a weirdness with my computer. I don't know why. When I send something to the color printer, it goes to the color printer, but it doesn't print in color. And I don't know why. I need to get my tech support guy to figure that out. That's been happening lately. That's why I've been showing you black and white. This is, I have glare, so this is the Elm Leaves Shawlette by Justina Lurkowska. Justina, that's her, Justina Lurkowska. And it's like the perfect shawl for me, because I've been looking for like one skein shawls. Oh, the sun is coming out. One skein shawls that are sort of, you know, just a little something, something. You know, I either want a big, keep me warm, hug me around myself shawl, or I want a little something around my neck that's a little bit like, almost like jewelry. And especially something that I can wear with my summer sweaters. You know, when I need just a little more. So I got this yarn out. This is a yarn that I've had a really long time. I was a member of a few of the Crafty Toads clubs, and this one was a club that was based on art, pictures in the museum in New York, I guess. I think so. And this is Crafty Toads. And it's called No Parking Claire, and it's a really pretty picture, you know, sort of pastel-y picture of a street, I think a street scene in Dublin or something like that, and it's No Parking Claire. Now, in the skein, it has, you know, these 4 or 5 colors, blue, green, yellow, apricot, you know. But there is, as it turns out, they're in very short stripes. So they kind of blend together. I mean, they really blend together when you put it in a skein. And after I skeined it up, I looked at it, I said, oh, this would be perfect for Marianne thinks I should make my Penguano kind of beach colory themed and wear it in October when I go to North Carolina, which I think is a great idea. And as soon as I saw this, I thought, oh, this would be great in that penguano, because the penguano is kind of all DK and things held double and whatever. And this would be Pearl. This would be a lovely Pearl. It's enough. This would be a lovely element. This would be a lovely element in a penguano going that direction. So that was the first thing I thought when I saw this. And I thought, now I did it for my elm leaf. Let me proceed. So I proceeded. I cast it on and I started it. And I didn't like the way it was knitting up for this project. Now, I think it's going to be perfect in that penguano project. But I only got this far, as you can see, and I'm like, this isn't what I was picturing. I love the colors. I love the yarn. Not what I wanted for my elm leaf. So as you can see, I stopped. So I went back up and I found another Crafty Toads yarn, and I had almost picked this first, but I have 2 skeins of it. And this is a 1 skein project. And I thought, you know, I'm going to find, but I've had this yarn for at least 4 years, I think. I'm sure I talked about it on my podcast, because this was a yarn I commissioned. Ooh. I commissioned them to do me a yarn based on Flaming June, and I will rummage around on the internet and see if I can find a picture of Flaming June, but it's the woman in orange lounging. And I sent them that picture and said, can you make me a yarn? And it's the Silky Toad 70 2010 70 superwash merino, 20% silk, 10% cashmere. And this is Flaming June. So I decided to go back and make my elm leaf shawlette in Flaming June. So I have another skein of this. This one is a little bit, the other one is a little bit brighter orange than this one. This one feels very autumny to me. And I'm not sure why I picked this one for my shawlette. I'm a little bit sorry I did. The other one's just a tad brighter. I mean, you know, you would have to definitely alternate skeins if you were going to make a 2 skein project with these 2 skeins, because they were just enough, you know, just in the skein looking. The other one just read brighter to me. But anyway, so I thought, well, that other skein of Flaming June will go in my penguano. And this is where I am with my oak leaves. So the thing about this is it looks the same on both sides. It's a garter stitch plain parts, and the elm leaves look good either way, and so you can just throw it on and you don't have to worry about it. This is my little bubble tea that I got from Benta, and this is my crystal I got from Chevis. So here you go. So I showed Dennis. He says, oh, it looks like a thong. So it's still at the thong stage, as many of these shawls are. But this was one evening. This was Friday, when Dennis was at his D&D game, and I put on my podcasts, and I have to do that again because Christy has a floss tube out, and I have a couple more to watch. So anyway, here is my elm leaves. So as promised. So there you go. Anyway, I really, really enjoyed knitting this. I took it with me this weekend, but while it is definitely television knitting, it didn't feel to me like, since I'm just starting it, it didn't feel quite like sitting and talking knitting, because I have to look at the chart when I'm doing the elm leaf part. It is charted and written out both. So if you want things written out, it's written out. If you like things that are charted, it has both. So I highly recommend this pattern. I really enjoyed knitting this, and I will be knitting it on it some more. But this is the elm leaves shawlette by Justina Worokoska. Thank you. Valerie gifted me that pattern. She found it for me, knew this is what I wanted, and gifted it to me. And she's absolutely right, because it really bugs me when, you know, there's a right side and a wrong side to a shawl, because shawls don't let, sweaters for sure, inside out, gotcha. Shawls doesn't work quite the same for me. All right, I've been talking a long time, so I am going to wish you well. I hope you are feeling well. I hope you are doing well. Please take good care of yourselves. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Stay safe and stay sane.